Good morning to two of my favorite ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning. Oh, we have an MCKRE centric coffee with MC today.
That's
I'm very
exactly
excited
right.
about it.
Exactly right. We're keeping it in-house today.
We sure are. MC, do you want
And
to?
I'm honored to be included.
Yay.
We're so glad you're here. We're so glad you're here. So guys, if you are interested at all in buying a home really anywhere or property really anywhere, or if you're just curious about the process or want to understand more about our market for buyers here locally in Carteret County, you are in luck because we have our resident expert, VP of Buyer Services. She is here to teach you guys all about how to navigate our market, Laura Montocchio.
Good
I feel like we
morning.
need a round of applause for that.
Why, thank you, Meg.
I'm
Thank
so
you.
excited you're here.
I'm
Yeah.
happy to be here. Thank you.
Yes, yay. Thank you. So Laura, okay, just let's just cut right to this. Like, tell us, when you are currently working with buyer clients, what are kind of the biggest challenges that you're seeing in today's market, and what are some things people might not know about what really makes it a great time to buy?
Sure. Well, I'll start with what people might not know is in general, I'm sure you would agree, people tend to think that our market here at the beach is more seasonal than it is. And that's always been the case. But without a doubt, this January and February have been the busiest since I started practicing here, this is now
So
my
interesting.
8th year as
Wow.
solely working with buyers in and around Carteret County. And it's remarkable how busy January and February have been. So I think that's noteworthy and probably is a harbinger of things to come, that this is going to be a busy year. I don't know why. I have some theories about it. I think people are just used to the new normal with interest rates and maybe tired of sitting around waiting to see if that was going to change, but that's just a theory. But how that translates is real estate is so local, right? And maybe folks who are coming from other markets have heard different things on the news, or maybe it's different back in their market. And why that's important is because if you're going to get the very best deal on a property, which of course is a primary objective of this whole process, it's super important that your strategy is crafted very specifically based on what's actually happening, both with that property and in the market.
Right.
So that's my point, that I think some folks who are maybe missing some opportunities are misreading what's actually happening in our market here in Carteret County, because it's slamming.
So Laura, when you say busy, just to clarify, you mean with showings, with offers? What does that look like?
I mean, there are a lot of yes and yes. There are a lot of buyers out there, and inventory is still low. And so when I said busy, I'm talking about the number of buyers and visits down here, showings with properties, and submitting offers and trying to purchase, looking forward to getting in before the summer. So busy with buyer activity is what I mean.
And I haven't seen the numbers for this week yet, but I know last week, I think we had 12 families that we helped put properties under contract just in the first week of March.
Yeah.
So Laura, to your point, I mean, you're right. It is wide open. That's right. What are some of the questions people come to you with?
That's a great question. They'll say the biggest question is, how's the market? And that is a fair question. And I would say, in addition to busy, the word I find myself using most often is erratic. And I'll say erratic, but wait, there's more. So every week we're seeing examples of properties that are generally attractive, priced appropriately, going under contract with multiple offers over list price. That is happening. But what's also happening is some properties are sitting for a while. Sellers are showing some more flexibility. We're able to get, some concessions. And sometimes do we have a hunch which way a property is going to go? Sure. But sometimes we don't. It just depends on if the buyer's out there for that particular property. So the moral of that story is, if your dream house comes on the market, it is a risky game not to go for it.
Interesting.
Right. That's really interesting.
And it's so good to hear too. I think I turn on the news every morning and they'll be talking about interest rates and the national market. And it's really easy to think that that's what's happening here as well, when in
Mhm.
reality, every market's different. What's happening on the national news might not be what's happening in your local market. So you're exactly right.
Exactly. Well, and I think that speaks to just demand. People want to be here. People want to move
Mm.
here.
Yeah.
Most everybody's aware Highway 70 between here and the Triangle is turning into Interstate 42, slowly one bypass at a time. And that is, if folks who were around back in the 90s when I-40 went in between Raleigh and Wilmington, remember what happened. And that just changed it because it was so much easier to get from Raleigh to the
Right.
beach. And that a similar thing is happening, and people are paying attention to that it's going to cut drive times, and that's one of the reasons demand just keeps going up here.
Sure.
Another big reason is it's just a really great place
It's
to
the
be.
best. We're not biased or
It
anything.
absolutely is.
Yeah.
And speaking of interest rates and kind of impact that's having, I do think you're right, Laura. I think your theory, I feel the same way. It'd be hard to really pinpoint the facts around this, but it feels like people are getting used to the fact that these somewhat higher interest rates than what we were used to a couple of years ago seem to be here to stay. And Gary Keller, who I think we all agree is one of the kind of the brightest minds in real estate today, when we were at a conference a couple of weeks ago, that's basically what he said he thinks is going to happen, is that they're kind of going to stay the same. And so, I know we just did a video last week about dating your rate and marrying your home. So to your point that, there are some homes out there that people are getting some great deals on. And so making sure that you're throwing your hat in the ring, it's a shame not to do that because it's right for the picking.
Great point.
Exactly. And to add to that, and I guess reiterate what I said earlier, I also think we're not closing the loop if we also don't say carefully with your agent crafting your strategy to that specific situation, right? And really paying attention not only to what's happening in this local market, but that particular property.
That's a great point.
Love it. So Laura, if people are watching right now, and they are like, ooh, I'm interested in learning more about the process, or I might be interested in making a purchase, whether here in Carteret County or in general, a little birdie tells us that you have a little resource that could help people who might be in that boat. Can you tell us more?
As a matter of fact, we do. Our whole buy team has been working really quite hard the last couple of months to pull together an on-demand course called How to Buy a Beach House.
Love it.
And you may recall last spring we did a How to Buy a Beach House course, and you signed up. It was a Zoom. We taught virtually, and it was fun and it was great. And we also kind of, we're busy. And so we try to empathize with folks and think, well, how could we make this even more accessible and even more user-friendly? And so we have beefed it up and converted it to an on-demand course.
I love that.
Yay. So it's 4 episodes. They're, like 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 9 minutes each. So very digestible, and they're on demand. And they are focused on, a wide variety of things too. So Meg, you mentioned if you're looking to purchase really on the coast, we have a coastal focus because there are a lot of extra fancy things down here, right? Like how does wind and hail or hurricane insurance work? What about flood zones? So we cover a lot of that. And much of just as we were saying, so much of real estate's local. And so a lot of what we talk about as far as market stats are local to Carteret County because that's what we know.
Sure.
But a lot of the content also just applies if you're interested in purchasing coastal property anywhere in North Carolina.
Love it. That's so exciting.
I know. I'm really excited about that. And I love to, I think one of the things that people don't think about when you do things like this that are on demand is you can pull it up on your phone and watch it anywhere, but you can also just listen to it in your car.
Yeah, that's a great point.
I love, it's like it's a podcast. There's also
podcasts.
Yeah. I love having some good options as far as squeezing in, getting some information. When everybody's so busy, but this is such a great resource. I feel like you guys did a wonderful job making sure that you're addressing the specifics of what people really want to know, because you get asked these questions a zillion times a week.
Exactly.
We do. Great point. Like we cover stuff like, most people have seen scary headlines, talk about national news about real estate agents and how we get paid commission and what's going on with that? So like we built that into the program this year to say, hey, you may have heard about that. Let's talk about that. How do things work in North Carolina? We also address stuff like, are we in a bubble? Because prices, especially in this area, have gone up so quickly in such a short amount of time. Another hot topic, and we mentioned this earlier, every week we're running into multi-offer situations, not always, but sometimes still. So how do those work? So we really, really tried to build in the questions that people are asking us on a weekly basis so that they can just study themselves and feel like educated, savvy buyers, no matter where they're looking on the coast. And of course, we'd love to have them here. We'd love to help them. But regardless, it's just a service and a program that we hope provides a lot of value to people.
Sure. So this is for anyone. Doesn't have to be, an MCKRE client. It's anyone who's interested. And I think that's a really cool aspect of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And as I said, even if they're looking in another part of North Carolina, much of the content applies to any coastal area.
Love it.
That's great. And so can we drop the links?
We sure
Okay.
can. So Laura, if people want to sign up, we can drop links in the comments here so they can just click on over.
They can drop and we'll catch them. Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. So Laura, we have one final question for you before we let you go, because we know you're busy. Would you like to ask her a final question?
Yes, Laura, we would love to know what's saving your life right now.
I kind of knew you were going to ask because I'm a fan of the show. And it's the time change from last weekend.
Saving your life?
Good.
Mm-hmm. Just the evening, it's brightening my mood, it's lifting my energy, it's keeping me up a little bit later, which isn't a bad thing, and just generally feeling that spring is just around the corner.
I love it.
That's a good one, Laura.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Laura,
thank you. I just can't stress enough how wonderful this class is. I think you guys are really going to love it. So we're going to make it so easy for you to plug in. And the great thing is, unlike last time, you don't have to be seen on the Zoom.
Correct.
I mean, you do, Laura, you do, but participants, it's not a live synchronous learning thing. It's you just watch it when you want to, and nobody can see your face.
Drinking
and to your point, they don't have to look at my face either if they want to listen.
You're right. That's exactly right. I love this. So many options.
Yes.
Thank you, Laura. I know you're going to have a busy real estate weekend ahead. So best of luck.
We're excited.
I know it's going to be a great one.
And thanks for having me. Good to see you both.
Bye, Laura.
Thanks, Laura.
Okay, bye.
Man, that was really good.
I know, I'm excited for that class. I am not in the market to purchase a property, but I still want to take it to feel like I'm
just to
educated.
learn.
Yeah,
That's exactly.
and learn about the process. I
That's
just think it's so cool, and it's free.
I know.
I love that part.
It's a good one. She does such a good job.
Oh my
and the whole
gosh.
buy side did a fantastic job really putting this content together.
Yep.
And putting a lot of thought into it and making sure that it really delivers what people need to hear.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you have something that's saving your life?
I think what's saving my life is my chaos bun.
Chaos bun. Chaos bun.
I'm feeling a little. It's
Please
growing,
turn more to the
it's
side.
growing out of the back of my head.
It looks like a cute little updo. Turn back more. MC. It's cute.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. I think what I would say to you guys is where this is coming from today is we just recently sat down and recapped our notes from Family Reunion, that conference that we went to, where Meg and I got to present in Las Vegas a couple weeks ago. And one of mine was talking about kind of a bias towards action. So as opposed to sitting down and agonizing over thinking about how you're going to do it and what's going to happen, it's just understanding what you need to do and just execute. And so sometimes I feel like if you're just going to execute, you just need to go with the chaos fun.
I love.
So you see how that ties together?
I do.
That's kind of where I am. I was like, I don't have time to figure anything
Yeah,
out. So
I
I'm
need
just
to
gonna-
execute.
Yes,
I can't do
it's
my hair.
execution time. Should we call it an execution bun?
Electrocution.
An electrocution bun. Okay, great. It's gonna be a really, really busy Friday. Okay,
I love
what
it.
about
I
you?
love it.
What's saving your life?
The thing that's saving my life is I get to go visit one of my dear friends, Courtney in Charleston this weekend. I just love going to a new city, hanging out with near and dear friends, and just excited to unplug for a little bit and walk around a pretty city.
That'll be really good, especially because you've your wedding is coming up.
It's
So
so
I know.
true.
So it's really good for you to, I think, have some time like that.
Yeah, a little brain break
That's
from
exactly
from
right.
the wedding planning.
I
of
love that.
the weekends.
That's good.
Yeah, super excited.
Oh man, we hope you guys have a great weekend. Check out the 4 episodes of How to Buy a Beach House. We're going to drop the links here. And thank you guys for joining us.
Okay.
Bye.